Yeah, what's going on, guys? It's Spartan here. We are back today. We just finished hitting a crazy chest workout, all right? So that'll be up as a YouTube short for you guys here in a second. So for those that don't know, I upload all of my lifting content, my crazy lifts. I upload them as YouTube shorts, and all my educational, informational stuff I put up as normal videos. Occasionally I'll put them up as, occasionally I'll put the lifting videos up as a regular video, but most of the time I leave them as YouTube shorts. So guys, we've got more questions pouring into, let me take off my headphones. We got more questions pouring into the Spartan Club. So I'm gonna read off these questions. We've got a question today, or multiple questions from Paul in the Spartan Club that we're gonna answer, and then we've got some from Chu also. And congratulations for George. George, welcome into the Spartan Club. George just joined this morning, and for those that don't know, if you wanna get in, oh, might look good. If you wanna get in, you wanna ask me questions, you wanna get YouTube videos made, you need some help, you wanna talk to me directly, or the other guys, join my Spartan Club at SethSpartan.com. Having said all that, let's get into the questions for today. Here we go.
What's up, guys? My name is Seth Spartan, and I'm a nutrition, training, and hormone expert for Prometheus HRT, Testosterone and Hormone Replacement Clinic. Let me tell you a little bit more about me. When I was in high school, I got into lifting weights, and when I was 16 years old, I could bench press 350 pounds. I got into powerlifting after that, won a bunch of stuff, and by the time I was 19, I was able to bench press 410 pounds, squat 550, and deadlift 600. After that, I switched to bodybuilding, because I wanted to get paid to do what I love, and I thought I could be great. I won the Teenage Mr. Wisconsin at 19, and after that, I thought I could be the next Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, I was being delusional, but being pushed by the older bodybuilders didn't help. In my early 20s, I pulled the trigger and got completely juiced out. This was pharmaceutical grade with a prescription, so there was zero doubt of the quality I was using. I got absolutely jacked, and that's when these pictures were taken. At my biggest, I hit 260 pounds with visible abs. For reference, my height is 5'10.5" on the dot. I felt invincible for these 2 years. That is, until I had heart problems. High amounts of testosterone or anabolic steroids will hypertrophy your muscles, but they will also hypertrophy your heart, which is a muscle. When the heart walls get too thick, your heart can't pump blood out efficiently anymore. This is what kills all the bodybuilders and athletes every single time. And this is what happened to me. I got heart dysfunction from my heart being too big and too thick. God then hit me over the head with a hammer, and I stopped everything, not just the drugs. I stopped my nutrition, my training as well, everything. I just did cardio. This is what I looked like a couple years later, just a regular athletic dude. I got my heart scanned again with the same echocardiogram I got the first time, which diagnosed my heart issues before, and this time, everything went back to normal and was great. Praise God. Sometimes the heart doesn't go back to normal, unfortunately. I wasn't sure if I would ever bodybuild again, but after being reached out to by a testosterone replacement clinic and signing with them, I started the trek upwards again. This time to see what was possible on testosterone and HGH replacement. How far could I take it? I traveled the country competing, then I wanted to see how big and strong I could get. 405 bench press for reps, 635 incline bench press for reps, and a 500-pound squat for a whopping 12 reps with sleeves. Yeah, I think I hit close to my peak with that. I didn't feel like getting fat to be able to move even more weight. So now this leads us to our current conquest and adventure, aesthetics. Jack Frank Zane sounds good to me. The goal of my channel, public speaking events, and when I talk to people in the gym is this: stop using anabolic steroids. There are severe health consequences. Stay natural or do testosterone and HGH replacement. We are currently living in a real-life steroid epidemic. Now let's have fun, guys, and get into the video. I am Seth Spartan.
First and foremost, what we need to get into, let's go through, let's address Chu's question here. I'll put the message on the screen for you guys to see. But let's talk about Chew's question first, because I don't think I've been asked this question before, like ever. All right, so let's cover this. So Chew says this. I'll put it up here for you guys. Chew says this. I just finished watching the YouTube video. Thanks, learned some things. Hey Seth, what do you know about using niacin B3? Yep, for a workout for improved blood flow. Is it worth the red skin and semi-weird body sensations? It sounds like it should help, being that it's a vasodilator. Any experience with this? Thanks. So I'll give you guys a general rule, and then we'll talk about niacin, also known as B3 specifically. So here's the general rule, and this is something we're finding across the board with all supplementation. Okay, let me repeat that. Any micronutrient. What are micronutrients? Most of you guys already know what micronutrients are. So any micronutrient, that's going to be vitamins, minerals, etc. And then macronutrients are what we know as what? Fat, protein, carbohydrates. Okay, so that's just the baseline for those that don't know. So Chew here is talking about vitamin B3, also known as niacin. He's saying, hey, if I supplement this, not getting it from my diet, if I supplement this directly, what do you think about increased blood flow? What do you think about, vasodilation in terms of performance in the gym? All right, so the problem with supplementation, this is every vitamin, every mineral supplemented, taken from non-natural sources. What we find is that it's very easy to cause damage. I cannot believe I'm saying this because I still have to change this in my book. If we're talking vitamin C, if we're talking B3, if we're talking other vitamins, it is extremely easy to cause damage in terms of negative sides. We're talking about cellular damage and messing things up, not because you're taking too much per se, but rather because the absorption is different. So there's multiple types of absorption when we're talking about not just B3, but other vitamins and minerals. What am I talking about? Put it this way. Even, let's say you have one sort, let's say you have cheese or milk, for example, and I don't want to go too much into detail, but I feel like I can't answer Chew's question unless I go into detail. So we're doing what the people want. We're giving you guys what you want from the Spartan Club. So here's the detail. Let's take calcium, for example, and then we'll come back to B3. If you take calcium, right, if you get the same amount, let's say you have X amount, the same amount you get from a supplement in the form of a pill as the same amount you get from milk or cheese or from an animal source, okay, a natural source. What we find is that the calcium, that higher dose of calcium, causes direct damage to the body. In the case of calcium, it damages blood vessels and blood vessel lining. It literally causes atherosclerosis. This has been proven because people have been supplementing calcium for a long time. So calcium, larger, even medium amounts, medium to high amounts of calcium taken as a supplement without everything else without the slower absorption rate, without all the other nutrients, which they're still finding, all the other things that are in cheese and milk, etc. I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole, but put it this way, same amount, a medium or high dose of calcium, okay, what doctors would consider medium to high dose of calcium taken in a pill form or a capsule, the same amount taken, from cheese or from milk, etc. The supplement version causes damage to artery linings and cells. Okay, we're talking about artery walls, endothelium damage, which leads to plaque building up in your arteries. So people taking calcium because they think it's healthy, when it's actually causing their body damage. Versus they could just get the benefits from going and getting some, good high quality mozzarella or whatever cheese of their choice. Okay, I love cheese. You guys know that already. So that's with calcium. And guess what we find, guys? This is the unfortunate truth. We find this across with other vitamins, all the other vitamins too. We talking about, B3, this happens. Again, different dosages, but this common rule, we find this damage. Vitamin C, I used to be a big advocate of vitamin C supplementation in my videos, in my logs, but the issue we find is that vitamin C taken in a supplement, like as a powder, you take vitamin C to basically as an antioxidant to stop free radical damage, right? Not only free radical damage, but protect your immune system. So antioxidant, immune function, suppression of suppression of viral compounds multiplying. Vitamin C does a huge amount of different stuff, right? But what we find is it's so easy to take too much vitamin C. Anything over 100, anything over like 100 milligrams. I have to rewrite this in my book. I have to change my book. Super male on this, but you take anything pretty much over 100 milligrams as a supplement, vitamin C, not only you protect against then one form of free radical stress, oxidation, but then you actually cause damage from the vitamin C that you're taking. It's crazy. So you can look that up, high doses vitamin C cellular damage, okay, in Google. But versus you could eat pineapple. I love pineapple. I'm a pineapple fiend. You know, I like my meat, maybe some pineapple or oranges every now and then. You know, whenever I'm feeling a little low, that's how I feel my best. But the thing is that you get that from, you get that amount from, when you get it in the fruit, there's other compounds, other things in the fruit that that you're not getting with the supplement that go along with it. And I used to be like, oh, that's stupid. You know, you just get, it doesn't matter where you get the supplement from. You know, the supplement's a supplement. It's not true. The other compounds that come in fruit, the other things that come in milk, cheese, in the case of calcium, they prevent against damage. So going back to Chu's question, sorry to make this so long already, but going back to Chu's question, the simple answer is this, is that could you get a benefit from taking niacin B3? Yeah, I think you absolutely could, but I see mixed results. Mixed meaning some results of B3 niacin supplementation are damaging to the human body, okay? Moderate dosages, and other ones are not. Okay, so I'm willing to bet, based on the mixed data we have, that it's the same case as calcium or vitamin C or anything else. So what I would advise to Chu and people that want to reap the benefits, go to your local farmer or go to Aldi's and get their grass-fed organic beef. It's like $5.50 a pound. Have a pound a day, okay? Eat a pound a day. That's it. And you know, and then you get tons of your B vitamins, including niacin, which is vitamin B3, and you'll feel great, you'll look good, okay? So, and you get all the pumps that you guys want too, okay? So that's, I would opt out for that from natural sources versus obviously, you know, running the risk of causing damage. Because we see, and I'll just say this, and then we'll move on to the IGF-1 growth hormone, you know, HGH question. So what we find here is that, I just want to talk B3 one more time, we're done. So last thing I have to say on this is that the biggest thing with vitamin B3 niacin in studies, higher end dosages from supplementation, not from natural sources, almost said national. But the biggest problem we find is heart disease. So in the same way that I talked about calcium causing plaque buildup in the arteries, only from supplementation, but not from natural sources, we see a link with high doses of niacin B3 from supplementation. Again, so keep in mind, so absorption is completely different from supplementation than natural sources, and also there's other things that you're getting from natural sources that, I don't want to say change, but greatly influence the processing part of your body, utilizing really whatever vitamin or mineral you're taking. Okay, all right, guys. Enough said. We did that. Let's move into next Paul's question. So let me pull this up. We're going to move into IGF-1 and human growth hormone next. So here we go. Maybe I'll have to break this into 2 videos, or I'll just upload it as one. I don't know yet. Okay, let's move into Paul's question. I'll post this up here for you. Paul says, explaining IGF-1 levels, are they like testosterone levels where going above is optimal? What is a good level to be at long term? When testing IGF-1, should I fast before blood work? And if I'm taking a GH peptide, what time of the day should I get blood work done? Should I get blood work done on a day I take the GH, or get blood work on an off day? There's a lot of mixed info on Google and would like to know what you think. If you guys have not seen my video explaining HGH versus IGF-1, it's only a couple videos before this, go watch that. Otherwise, I'm gonna tackle the rest of his questions. So, you don't wanna go, the punchline is you don't ever wanna go over 400 IGF-1 in nanograms per deciliter, okay? Now, here's the thing with HGH and IGF-1. IGF-1 is currently the best way to track human growth hormone levels in people and animals for that matter, okay? But the issue is that it's not 100% accurate. It's the best way, but it's not 100% accurate. Let me give you an example. Let's say I take a humongous dose of samorelin acetate. That's what I'm taking right now for HGH replacement. I take a huge dose, a mega dose. My HGH is gonna go through the roof, and 2 hours later, it'll be back to baseline. That's gonna cause almost, I don't wanna say non-existent, but that's gonna cause almost a non-existent or extremely small spike in my IGF-1 levels when I take my blood work a month later, or a couple weeks later after the IGF-1. Because remember, IGF-1 half-life in humans, we'll just round 10, 12 hours, okay? So we tested after a week, that increase is gonna be very minimal, okay? But you'd say, wait a second, but your total HGH output is way up. And the reason for that is because it takes not just it's the amount of HGH, because the liver can only process so much HGH to convert into IGF-1. And I talk about the difference between HGH and IGF-1 in my video from a couple videos before this, explaining exactly how one is the effect hormone and then one is the funneling hormone for funneling nutrients and also providing cellular energy for the replication of HGH. So let's answer the first part. Are they like testosterone levels where going above is optimal? Absolutely not. Okay, because you want the effects from the HGH, but the IGF-1 level doesn't necessarily have to rise to get those effects. For example, if I'm doing carnivore or keto, I'm feeding that growth and the effects of HGH through no longer the IGF-1 funneling of glucose, but rather through what? The fats I'm taking in. So, and that's one reason why if I do a carnivore diet, your IGF-1 levels will drop instead of doing a high carbohydrate diet. Does that mean you're not getting the effects? No, it means that your body is switching the IGF-1 to free instead to bound and using the fats for fuel. That's a whole nother video I can do on that. So let's answer this. Do you want to go above 400 nanograms per deciliter IGF-1? No, I wouldn't. How much growth hormone does your human body produce naturally in terms of total production? 4 to 5 IUs per day when you're around, we'll just say 16 to 18 years old, if you've got good genetics. Let's see here. What is a good level to be at long term? I tell everybody the peak that you want to get hyperplasia, recovery, feeling good, all the benefits. The peak is you want to be somewhere around 300, okay? If you're somewhere around 300, you're fine. The only exception to this is if you're doing carnivore or very low carb. Keep in mind, let me tell you a secret, the doctors won't tell you this, that IGF-1 level is not very accurate if you're doing extremely low carb or carnivore. Why? Because that IGF-1 is getting scooped up and turned into bound IGF-1. Why? Because your body, it's making it so you don't go hypoglycemic, and rather you're going to use the fats for fuel instead of what the IGF-1 normally would use would be glucose. You're switching to fats. There's no problem. It's not going to mess up your gains. It's not going to do any of that. I got better results. Again, everything the same. I got better results going carnivore with some fruit, carnivore with some fruit every once in a while versus when I did high protein, high carbohydrates. Anyways, let's move on. When testing IGF-1, should I fast before blood work? No, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, just take it sometime in the middle of the day. You can take it any time during the day because the half-life's longer. I would just take it in the middle of the day, or rather, whatever your sleep schedule is, whatever the middle of your waking hours is, I guess that would be more accurate. Because again, the half-life, 10, 12 hours, up to 15 hours, depending on the person, it's not gonna matter too much. I would just take it right in the middle of your waking cycle, middle of the day for most people. Let's see. Should I get blood work done on a day I take the GH or get blood work done on an off day? I assume he's taking about, oh, he's talking about peptides. He's talking about peptides. I would take I would take it. I would say it doesn't matter, but what I like to do is whenever you wake up, unless you go to the gym right away, but whenever you wake up, take your big shot of some Morlin or whatever your GH peptide is, okay? And then, you know, whatever the middle of your day is, we'll just say 5-6 hours later, then you can test your IGF-1. That'll give you an accurate. So, you know, if you take it maybe 2-3 hours after, maybe it'll be a little higher than normal, but if it, again, as long as you've had some time, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, you know, you want an accurate number, somewhat accurate number. But again, it's not the end all, because if you're going carnivore or low carb, free IGF-1 will go down and bound IGF-1 will go up, and we're not testing for that. So don't worry about that too much. Let's see here. There's a lot of mixed info on Google and would like to know what you think. Truthfully, that'll be it, guys. But truthfully, Paul and everybody else in the Spartan Club and everybody else watching this, honestly, guys, as long as, if it were me, get your IGF-1 test at, you know, maybe 4 hours. As long as it's 4 hours after you took your HGH shot, it should be fine. Because if you do it too close, it'll be a little bit higher, but not too much. It'll be a little bit higher. And if you take it, and if you know, let's say you took your shot in the morning, you take it in the evening, it'll be a little bit lower than normal. So remember, the IGF-1 is a snapshot, because again, your IGF-1 is just about, if you go no carb carnivore, your IGF-1 will be about halved. Okay, so talk more about this later, guys. I've said this before, but if you guys have any questions for me, if you guys want me to do a YouTube video, if you want me to do a YouTube video for you, you want me to cover your topics, your stuff, go to SethSpartan.com and join my Spartan Club. Me and you can talk directly. You can talk to other people. You can tell me what you want me to make a YouTube video on. I can help you out, but answering you guys' questions the literal best I can. So, guys, we're out of here, and I'm sorry for the noise. They started a cardio class right next to me. All right, let's go eat something. We're out.